You're looking in shape right now. How much are you weighing in at?
Right now, probably about 170. Got about 10 more pounds to go. A lot of liquids in me, a lot of water weight on me, so it's gonna be that much more easier to lose the 10 pounds once we get about a week of the fight.
Do you think you have the clear advantage over Kid in that area where he's had a little bit of trouble making weight in his past fight?
He made weight his last fight, so he's been working with that Herrera guy, so he said he owes him compliments of making him, getting him to be able to make weight. So hopefully he can make weight this time around and, you know, have a 110%, so there's no excuses, and we can go on and give the fans a good fight.
Looking at it objectively and putting your commentator's hat on, if you were to step outside yourself, what clear advantages do you think that you have with this?
Skills. I've always said skills pay the bills. At the end of the day, I have a lot of skills over Kid Chocolate. My speed is my biggest advantage. We both are power punchers. He's probably a bigger puncher than I am. He's a lot more heavier than I am, naturally. So I'm at an advantage because the more muscle you have, the more of a power puncher you are, the slower you are. So with all that power, he has to get to me, opposed to just saying I'm a bigger puncher. He has to be able to land those shots.
So with that being said, skills pay the bills.
Right.
Like Mayweather mantra is, are we going to expect more of an elusive fight where you box him out, or are we going to expect to see a war?
I'm just going to adjust, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I've always loved knockouts. The fans always love knockouts. Knockouts is to make the fans love you, make you more marketable. So if I can end it with a knockout, that's what I'll do. But at the end of the day, I have to remain focused and use my skills and use my advantages, not you know, go neck and neck with what we both are good at.
Okay, now you're someone who's matter of fact, the perfect example of somebody who suffered a knockout loss and came back to be champion.
Right.
What advice would you give to Ronda Rousey taking a knockout like that? How does somebody
I think it starts more so outside of the ring. I think just remaining a little bit more humble and having a little bit more class. But at the end of the day, this is a sport where, you know, you win some and you lose some. She's a champion inside her heart, and you know, I believe that one day she'll be able to bring back that championship back to, you know, her and her fans. But at the end of the day, I think she needs to focus a little bit more on the craft opposed to, you know, some of the antics and stuff that she's been doing outside the ring.
What transition did you go through to get you to where you are now after suffering that loss?
You know, it's just trials and tribulations. Trials and tribulations is just time. Time is the biggest experience that you can have. And like I said before, this was all taken away from me. So everything that I used to complain about before, I'm doing on my own and then some. So, you know, mentally I'm there. Physically I'm there. It's my time now. I'm just waiting to take advantage of it December 5th.
Have you ever spoken to Dimitri since? All that, you know, like nobody would have.
I've spoken to.
All that, you know, you would have kept going, and then he just suffered an
with
injury.
the back injury. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, you know. And I sent a prayer out to him and his family, and I seen one of his managers or one of his translators, and I told him to reach out for him and give him my best. But that was all that we had, you know. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things where it's an unfortunate situation, because if there's any man that I would want to step in the ring with, it would be Dimitri Perot to avenge that loss, because I ultimately felt like I was the better fighter. Just a lot of things it wasn't the right time for me. But no excuses moving forward. You know, I've accomplished a lot in my career, and I've accomplished a lot up until this point, and all I can focus on right now is just solidifying this win December 5th.
I remember during the fight, you kind of felt like the 10 count was a little bit early, and that you had a chance to get up. You still feel that way today?
Yeah, I still gonna feel the same way, you know. But like I said, I'm not a referee. I don't know what he saw, but I know what I felt, and I was just taking my time and getting up. And I think in the world title fight, I think you should at least give that fighter an opportunity to get up, not at the count of 4 or 5. You know what I mean? And just push me down and wave it off. But like I said before, that's in the past, and that's something that I've learned from. And you know, moving forward, I can definitely say that I've learned a lot, and I would imply what I've learned inside the ring.
Have you conducted your entire training camp over here in New York?
It's been in New York. Yeah, it's been in New York. It's been based in Long Island and Brooklyn.
All right. So how do you feel? You know, kids out there in Miami enjoying the sun. you feel that you're going to have that competitive edge, like being in this is the battle for Brooklyn?
I think it's like, me traveling back and forth from Long Island to Brooklyn. I see Brooklyn every day. That's the biggest inspiration for me. Knowing that we're fighting for that title. I'm in the streets. I'm here. I'm in tune with it. And at the end of the day, me actually being from here means more. So not to say that he's not going to bring that same passion come fight night, because we all fight in 110%, and we all give our all inside that ring. Because when you have a man coming in and try to take your head off, you got to fight. You got to give it your all. But with that being said, I'm just looking forward to the fight. This is going to be an excellent fight. This is going to be a fan-friendly fight.
Walk around the streets, man. So what's the word you're hearing? What are people saying?
It's back and forth, and that's the thing about it, and that's what I love about it. I'm glad it's not one-sided. Some people feel like I'm going to win. Some people feel like he's going to win. But at the end of the day, it's just about us proving ultimately, and it's in our hands to ultimately prove who's going to be the victor.
Barely that you do get this win, how hard would you campaign for a fight against, GGG or Canelo Cotto? Winner of those, how hard do you campaign for that?
I've been calling Peter out, and I've been campaigning for this fight for a long time. So I'll be yet to see who I'll be calling out next, or who will be the main man to call out next. A lot of people say Triple G is that guy, but I've always viewed him as the man, the top guy in the division. So as I work my way up the ladder, I feel like I can get maybe the Andy Lees, and then maybe the Cottos or Canelos, and then ultimately get Triple G. You know what I'm saying?
So who do you have in that fight between Andy Lee
and Sanders?
Yeah.
I got Andy Lee. I think Andy Lee has a little bit more experience. They're both southpaws, but he has a lot more advantages. I see Andy Lee winning that fight, but Sanders is a tough competitor as well, very skillful. So we'll have yet to see. Skills pay the bills.
Going back to your commentator hat, way back when it was slated for Dimitri to have a fight with Triple G, back then, how do you think that fantasy fight would have looked like, and who do you think you would have had?
I don't know, man. That would have been an entertaining fight. It's something that I definitely would have wanted to see. Both very skillful fighters. Triple G is obviously more of a power puncher. Pirog is more of a slickster, more of a boxer puncher rather. It would have been a matchup for the fans to see, and I'm sure it would have been very entertaining.
Are you one of the people who had Holly Holm winning against Ronda Rousey, or was it?
I was rooting for Holly Holm. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard some of the interviews that Ronda Rousey has been doing, and the disrespect that she has been given to Holly. And it's not the fact that Holly was a boxer and that she hasn't received the credit that she deserved, because she was a 3-time or 4-time world champion, and in kickboxing. And having Ronda Rousey, who really had not really accomplishing that much, and having all the spotlight. See, this is a sport where if you're more marketable, then sometimes you get favored. So sometimes people with the real skills, I'm not saying that she doesn't have, or she's not capable of the real skills, but I feel like people should be able to get the same kind of attention. Especially in women's boxing. But she was the biggest draw, and I understand why. But at the end of the day, I was rooting for Holly because of Ronda's character and some of the antics that she was showing before the fight. But like I said before, she's a champion. She knows what it is to be a champion, and I'm sure she'll bounce back.